This is chapter 1 of The Gifts That Bind Us. And Caroline O'Donoghue has dedicated this book to her sister Jill, who taught me about books, television and survival. Chapter 1. I suppose I'll always remember this as the summer that Rue learned to drive and I learned to read minds. He got his license in June and promptly insured on his mum's car, and since then the car has been a part of him, a part of us. They are always interviewing TV actors who say things like, "Really, New York City was the fifth character on the show," and I suppose you could apply the same logic to Mrs. O'Callaghan's Nissan Micra. Rue calls her Linda. My mum calls it the galloping maggot. Maeve, she calls up the stairs. The galloping magnet is outside. I bounce down into the hallway, heavily, not having quite broken in my Doc Martens. The new leather rubbing away at the skin. Mum is giving the dog his eye drops, trying to hold his head steady, her fingers prising open an eyelid. I take my little drawstring handbag from the coat stand in the hall. "Take your coat." "I don't need it," I replied. "It's balmy." I realize then that my mother didn't say that out loud, and that I am responding to a coat request that was only thought, never uttered. She looks at me oddly. Rue may have taken to driving quickly, but telepathy is a gift that comes slowly, strangely, and ideally with a lot of eye contact. You should really know when someone's mouth is moving. I double back, wary, tense. "I thought I heard you say." Tutu wrestles his head free and tries to wander off. Mum snatches him back. The tutu is the dog. "It's not that warm. It's August. It's Ireland." I shrugged and head for the door. Her voice again. "Do you need money?" I stall. "No, Nuala paid me yesterday. I'm grand. I've been doing shifts at the Divination, that's the occult shop, in town since school finished. Nuala can't afford to pay me much, but given that all I seem to buy is tarot cards and McDonald's, it generally lasts me." Another pause. "There's a tenner in my bag. £10, if you want to take it." "I'm fine, Mum. Just the dog is free now." Each drop having been ineffectively applied to the outer rims of his eyes. Mum giving up on holding him still. "Take it," she says, "just in case." Everyone still thinks the ritual was a suicide attempt, and that's what happened in the first book. It's very exciting and enthralling, that first book. I've made a series on that, and you can find it on YouTube. Oh, Fiona lied all right. She played the part of the silly drama student trying to construct and stabbing scene with her friends. So well that we were convinced. Everybody believed us, not realizing that they were merely humoring us, waiting for the moment when things had calmed down and they could find out what really happened. It's made my telepathy very useful. When I concentrate, I can see the light in people. I find my mother's light a sort of lilac tinged with silver, and I follow it straight to her until I know exactly what she wants to hear. I know when I reassure her when to be elusive, when to imply that there is more information to disclose and that I will tell her, but not today. It has been 5 months since the ritual, 5 months since Lily O'Callaghan disappeared for all of February, since a spell and a struggle with a knife almost killed me, and Rue, since she climbed out of the river dripping wet and angry. She's not interested in lying, like the rest of us are. Her answer is clear every time. I was in the river, she says, a touch of mourning in her voice, and the river was me. The most common thought my mother has is worry, which is not surprising, but the shape of the worry is she is constantly thinking that I have gone to a place beyond her, a place where I'm sure to meet danger. She wants very badly for me to need her. So she tries to give me money, and when I take it, she feels happier. Okay, I say, taking it out of her bag. I kiss her on the cheek. Thanks, and the lilac light glows. Fiona is in the front seat, and seeing me emerge from the house, gets out to join Lily in the back. It's very pleasing, this little car. Hierarchy. I am the girlfriend, and therefore I sit in the front. I've always admired those girls in school, in relationships, the sort of elder stateswoman energy they give off, the first lady, air of dignity. I never thought I would be one of them. And now that I'm firmly that kind of girl, a girlfriend, a girl, I can't help but feel older, more legitimate somehow. Rue likes to use gender-neutral phrases where he can, but he and I haven't found a word that fully replaces boyfriend yet. We've Googled it. Lover is icky and technically incorrect. Partner is too dull, too grown up. After that, start falling into terms like my sweetheart, and the idea of that saying that in front of people is nauseating to both of us. Sometimes I say joyfriend as a joke, but mostly I just say Rue. All right, Chambers, Fiona says as she flicks the front seat forward, ready to climb into the back. Doc's still giving you trouble? I grimace down at her feet, my heels still bleeding despite the 2 pair of socks I'm wearing. How can you tell? You are walking like a duck on Prozac. Can you sort me out? Cost you a milkshake. Done. Go on then. Take off your shoes in the car. Then we climb into the car, and I kiss Rue on the cheek, his long earrings brushing my nose. I bought him these for his birthday, back in June. Long speed pearls on a golden chain, the kind he fell in love with when we watched Shakespeare in Love together. He's into a kind of Elizabethan look at the moment. He's trying to track down a ruff to wear out on stage. Hey, you, he says, putting his arm around me. How are you? How are the shoes? You could tell me too. You walk out of the house like you've only just achieved sentience. Lily in the back says nothing. She has no suggestions of what I might look like when I walk, and it's not because she wants to preserve my feelings. When we were kids, and Lily's hearing aid wasn't as good as the one she has now, she would find group conversation hard. She would lose track and eventually zone out, and people would think she was being deliberately rude. That's not what's happening here. If you are to see the four of us out together, you would probably think we were four best friends, and that the best friendship held an equilibrium that shot in all directions. But if you looked closer, really watched us, you would see that Lily rarely speaks directly to me and often looks out of the car window when I'm speaking. My heart sinks a little when I catch her blank expression in the rear-view window mirror. Please, I think, please make fun of me. Fiona, she says instead, can you help me tomorrow with my maths stuff? Maths? I say, in summer? Silence. Then Fiona, Lily is leaving the certificate prep, aren't you, Lil? So she's doing an exam most probably, or a summer course, and she's leaving. Yes, she answered bluntly. Even the mention of the leaving certificate has me swaying with nerves. No one expected much from me towards the end of the year. Everybody assumed I was too traumatized by Lily's sudden disappearance and my odd role in it. A tarot reading, a strange card, a public fight, and then poof, girl gone. Then she turns up on the same day that I'm hospitalized with wrist wounds. It was all too odd for anyone. Wow. Anyone to compute. I was frequently checked up on, which I hated, and then I was ignored, which I loved. There's nothing that annoys me more than an "is she okay" look, closely rivaled by an "aren't you brave" head tilted. Aren't you brave? Head tilted. It's not going to be the same this year. Teachers won't just leave me alone. It's our exam year, after all. I don't know what I'm going to do, I say grimly. You'll be fine, Rue says. It's not as bad as everyone says. They love making a big drama out of exams. Easy for you to say you are basically a genius. He pulls down his mirror and starts doing his eyeliner. Black ringing around his eyes. My heart thumps a little. A sucker for eyes that smolder like burning coal. Even if it is via a Rimmel pencil, the steering wheel moves effortlessly as he does his makeup, the gear stick shifting without his touching it. No wonder he learned to drive so quickly, when he can talk to the car without putting his hands on the wheel. I'm not a genius, I'm just good at taking tests, he replies. It's what he always says whenever I talk about a huge gap between our school careers. Anyway, results aren't for weeks. His tone of Rue's problems aren't so much about his results, but the way in which he plans to throw his results away. Everyone's expecting him to get at least 550 points, which is enough to get into some of the best schools in Ireland, as well as the UK. Rue, however, has already decided that he wants to go to Kilbeg University, which is nowhere near the top of universities. His band, Small Private Ceremony, is starting to get some recognition. Sorry guys. And he feels like breaking up the band for a different county. At this point, would be stupid. His parents, unsurprisingly, feel the opposite. You taking those tortured devices off, Mauve, or what? That's her shoes, the Doc Martens. Yeah, okay then. I'll take off my boots and socks, but then deal with the problem of getting my feet to Fiona. I curl into a ball and roll my body around, sticking my legs across and through the space between the driver's seat and the passengers. What are you doing, Roo? Says, his face almost colliding with my foot. My heels are in agony, I say. Fiona's going to heal them. Then I laugh, because I haven't realized that both words sound exactly the same. She's going to fix them, I mean. Can you wait until Fiona holds my feet? Jesus, Mauve, you know there is such a thing as polish remover. I mean, you don't have to wait until it just erodes off your toes. I have the job. Fine. I am a career woman. Right, she says, and I feel small, warm hands wrap around my ankles, and I'm upside down in the passenger seat. I feel the heat under my hands, and there's an odd sensation of tightness in my legs, of skin building and knitting together. It's still incredible to me that she can do this, even though she has done everything from banishing period cramps to making stitches dissolve. You are incredible, I say. Thanks, babe. I try to slide my feet back and in the process kick Roo in the head. The car swerves slightly and we all yelp. Within half a second, it's fine and he's regained control again, but he's annoyed. Maeve, he says snappishly, you couldn't have waited? Waited until what? I replied. We don't have anywhere except here. This is a problem for us. Our gifts are starting to grow from little kittens in cardboard boxes to full-grown tomcats. We need our own space. It's not like we can risk normal people seeing us. People think we are weird enough already. But it's hard. Fiona's house is out because her cousin Joss is there during the day. The O'Conahans are just too jumpy, and Mr. O'Connellan works from home. My mum is on summer break from college. All that's left is the car. Linda. So that's the car, Linda, remember? Lily clears her throat. I've been practicing, she says. Fiona and I look at her. Roo looks in the rearview mirror, scrutinizing his sister. Where? We all ask it. A choir of voices. School. Wow, that was unexpected. Practicing their gifts at school. I'm going to chapter 2 now. I'll see you there. I hope you enjoyed it.